Right, so Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I actually looked back at the videos that I posted recently, and my trailer reaction wasn't that long ago. Or, not that that video wasn't that long ago, it was several months ago, but I haven't uploaded very much since. Sorry about that. Busy, fucking mind all over the place, been doing Twitch stuff a lot. My brain has been over in Twitch, and I've kind of let this become like a backseat kind of thing, and I apologize for that with the people that just watch my videos on here. But I want to kind of get back into doing the YouTube stuff, hopefully with the more movies coming out, games starting to come out, Avengers stuff happening. I'll have more stuff to talk about on here. But Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I'm going to say this right now, I will spoil the movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, get your butt over and see it. It's good, you'll enjoy it. But if you have seen it, watch the rest of this. I'm going to go through the movie, not everything, but I'll go with everything that's significant enough to talk about and everything that's stuck in my mind with the movie. But I do want to start off with this video and say that this movie is good. It is in the upper echelon of MCU movies. I don't know if I prefer it to the sequel, or not to the sequel. I don't know if I prefer it over the first one. I have to watch it again. I have to watch the first one again. It's been a while since I watched the first Doctor Strange. And I definitely don't like it more than No Way Home. But it is still really good, and it does a lot of really cool things, and a lot of things that, you know, got me and surprised me, especially with a certain character that I'm going to talk about later. But yeah, this movie, I guess the biggest criticism that people have thrown at this movie is that Doctor Strange isn't the main character, or that he's not, there's not really much development to him as a character. And to that I have to say, it's a sequel, it's the middle movie, and there's so much going on in this film, and there's so much development given to another character and to the new character America Chavez, that I feel like if they did any more to kind of you know, give you more on Doctor Strange, then the movie would have been even more muddled. Could they have taken some of the character development of America, of, you know, Scarlet Witch, of some of the other characters out and given more to Doctor Strange? Who knows? There is enough in there. I feel like we got enough, and we learned enough more about Doctor Strange as a character. And we have enough scenes of Doctor Strange doing cool shit. And by the end of this movie, I was like, holy shit, Doctor Strange is the most OP character in the MCU so far. Fuck you, the people that are saying it's Thor. Fuck you, the people that are saying it's Captain Marvel. No, it's Doctor Strange. 100% Doctor Strange. But yeah, I really liked the role that the protagonist had in this movie, because you kind of have this idea that, Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme in this universe. I like that for Wong. He doesn't actually do a lot in the movie, but Wong is a badass for the scenes that he's in. And that opening, not the opening scene, but the scene where Wong and Doctor Strange are fighting Shumagorath in the streets, that reminded me a lot of the fight with Spider-Man versus Dr. Octopus when Doc Ock robs the bank. There's a lot of similarities and like side by sides between this and Spider-Man 2, which, you know, same director. There's going to be Bruce Campbell's in this movie, of course he is. He's a disgruntled hot dog stand owner, and he's also the after credits scene. But yeah, there's so much in this movie, and I'm not going to be able to touch on much of anything without going into spoiler territory, so I'm going to go into spoiler territory. If you don't want spoilers, leave the video now. If you're fine with spoilers, or you've seen the movie, then carry on. I really liked what they did with Wanda in this movie. She's straight up the villain. She's the bad guy. She's the antagonist in this movie, and she arguably gets more than Doctor Strange. And, well, she's had more than Doctor Strange anyway. She's been in the MCU for longer, and she's been a hero. She's been a villain before. She's been kind of floating through the middle, and she's always really had this, like, darkness in her, even more so, especially in WandaVision. And WandaVision is vital to this. You know, her whole motivation in this movie is just she wants to be with her sons again, and you know, and she wants America Chavez, because America can hop through the dimensions, hop through the multiverse, and you know, and Wanda wants that so she can go to a multiverse, go to a universe where her sons are alive. And there's not really any talk about Vision in this. I feel like maybe Vision's out of the picture. Maybe she doesn't care about Vision anymore. Maybe the Scarlet Witch persona has kind of taken that out of her mind. There's not really any conversation about Vision at all in this movie. But yeah, Wanda's just plain evil in this movie until the end when she kills herself. But you know, the whole, and whether she's actually dead or not, we don't know. This is a universe where half of life in the universe died and came back. So whether Wanda stays dead, I don't know. I kind of hope she does, because character arc is over. She went from being the villain to hero to villain again, to, you know, making a sacrifice for the greater good. And, you know, she ends up going to a universe, and, you know, her sons see this kind of version of her and they think that it's a monster, and she kind of sees the monster she's become. Again, another parallel to Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2, and another parallel to Dr. Octopus. She kind of collapses the beams in this, like, temple room, and you see the whole temple, like, collapse on her, much like Dr. Octopus collapsing the beams in the sun room, the fucking tritium room, and seeing that whole building collapse on him, and him basically saying, "I will not die a monster," and she has kind of the same moment. And it's these Sam Raimi parallels that are, you know, it's something that I noticed. Well, it's something that I noticed watching Jeremy Johns' video, and I was like, holy shit, that's actually right. That there's so many connections between how Wanda is treated in this and Dr. Octopus being treated in Spider-Man 2, and I guess that kind of makes sense, being that it's Sam Raimi and it's a sequel. My biggest kind of niggle with this movie is that Mordo doesn't do much at all, and that's kind of my niggle with the cinematic universe as a whole. I love Baron Mordo as a character, and we're at this point now that Baron Mordo was set up in the first movie, and he's forgotten about in the second movie. He's like a throwaway line. They're like, oh yeah, Baron Mordo's been trying to kill me forever, and here's an alternate version of him, and he's a good guy. He's the Sorcerer Supreme in this universe, and then we see the Illuminati, and he's a member of it. And that's another thing, the Illuminati. Professor X in the like hover chair, the yellow hover chair, and we hear the 1990s X-Men theme. That's a moment. That's like classic Marvel being like, oh yeah, if the rest of the movie sucks, we're gonna have that moment, and that moment is gonna get bums in seats, and it's going to be what people remember. And yeah, it's what I remember. Another thing that I remember is seeing John Krasinski as fucking Mr. Fantastic. That was the moment where I was like, hey, it's the guy that everyone wants, and it's the guy that everyone wants to play the guy that everyone wants. And then Wanda basically comes in, sees the Illuminati, which is like Captain Carter from What If, Professor X, who gets his cool moment, Mr. Fantastic, Black Bolt. Fucking Black Bolt is in this movie, because of course he is, and a version of Captain Marvel, which Captain Marvel was never a member of the Illuminati, to my knowledge. Captain America was, Iron Man was, but Captain Marvel, I don't remember that. It would have been cooler if that was the actress that played Monica Rambeau in WandaVision as well. I think that would have been cooler, because we actually see a pretty sick ass fight between Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch in this. I feel like it would have meant more if that was Monica and Scarlet Witch was like, I recognize you, I know who you are, and Monica would be like, how? Or I don't know you. And then they fight, and then they have that sick ass moment where they basically look like one of those statues that's gonna cost like $2,000 on like a fucking cut up IKEA or something. Just Captain Marvel coming down and Scarlet Witch creating a blockade. That's a statue. That's waiting to be made into a statue. And you know, just seeing Scarlet Witch just make all of these members of the Illuminati eat shit just takes away Black Bolt's mouth and his brain explodes. It's like the kind of thing that you can get away with in a 12 or in like a non-R-rated movie, but also, you know, it's those moments that are like, should you take your kids to go watch Multiverse of Madness? Probably not, because there is horror elements, and when I say there's horror elements, I mean this is a Sam Raimi movie. This is like Ash versus the Evil Dead kind of horror, where like Scarlet Witch's arm just comes out, and she comes out of this like gong thing, and then she just fucking basically turns herself into the mummy from the terrible Tom Cruise movie. And that, I don't know why that's the vibe that she gave off, but she gave off that vibe. And she just, like, between that and Enchantress from Suicide Squad, but, you know, done well. This is, Scarlet Witch in this is like if Enchantress in Suicide Squad was actually written well and had development and was a character and not just a thing for the Suicide Squad to fight at the end. But yeah, the Illuminati is basically, that's the thing, that's the hook, that's the oh shit moment, that's like the Sinister Six coming back. And my criticism with that is that the reason why it worked so well in Spider-Man was because they were characters that we'd already seen before, and they were characters that were directly connected to Spider-Man, and two of them were Spider-Man. In this, it's just other versions of Doctor Strange being played by Benedict Cumberbatch. There isn't even the 1980s shitty Doctor Strange movie version of Doctor Strange that comes back in this, and that would have been perfect, or at least have him cameo. There's not that. There's a Bruce Campbell cameo. You like Bruce Campbell, right? But no, there's nothing about the multiverse stuff is like a direct link to Doctor Strange, as opposed apart from evil Doctor Strange right at the end of the movie, and and the Defenders looking Doctor Strange at the start of the movie, who gets turned into a zombie, and that's the zombie Doctor Strange that we see in the trailer, and he's got a cloak made of dead souls, and that's actually a pretty cool design, and I want that action figure now. Hot Toys, get on it. But, Marvel Legends, where is my zombie Doctor Strange? But, yeah, I just, the whole Illuminati showing up in this, I get it. I get what they were doing. And it's like, are we going to see that in the main MCU? Probably, definitely. But also, why is this the movie that you put John Krasinski's Mr. Fantastic in? Why is this the movie that you put Professor X in? I guess you want Patrick Stewart to cameo before he dies, because let's be honest, he's getting old. You can only use him for so many years before, eventually, life happens. But, why is this the movie? Like, I mean, I get it. It was cool seeing those characters, but, like, it takes away from this being Doctor Strange. And I guess it's difficult to make a Doctor Strange multiverse movie when there's only been one Doctor Strange. And yeah, seeing Benedict Cumberbatch fight Benedict Cumberbatch is cool. There is one specific scene when main Doctor Strange goes to this incursion dimension and sees the evil Doctor Strange who's got the Darkhold, and they fight each other using music. And I was like, this is actually the coolest scene in the entire movie. Like, can we get more stuff like this in the MCU, please? Like that, it's stuff like that makes this movie feel different to any other MCU movie. And it was like, at that moment, I was like, I'm watching a Doctor Strange movie. I'm having fun, and it's when we get like the fight against Shimaggorath, it's when we get the fight of, Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange fighting each other with music notes. That's what the movie should be. And when it's being that, it's great. When it's being a horror movie, it's great. But when it's trying to be, look at this massive universe, look at all of these characters that we can use, and look at this stuff that we can do, it's like, that's when it loses me. And as cool as it was to see the Illuminati, it's like, this really detracts from Doctor Strange going through the multiverse. And this movie should have felt like a big road trip movie through the multiverse, and like horror elements and everything. And it was just, is this really cool concept that we wanted to do, and we didn't know where else to put it, so I guess we'll put it in the Doctor Strange movie, and then everything around that is going to be brilliant We're going to have a really kick-ass villain that actually makes sense and that's been developed really well. We're going to have a hero that you now really like because he's been in so many things and, you know, he's cool. The supporting cast, Wong is excellent. Everyone likes Wong. Who doesn't like Wong? You know? And America Chavez is actually a really cool character in this. I didn't think she would be, but she is. I didn't think I would like her. I ended up really liking her at the end of the film. And also, like, when she learns how to finally do her multiverse powers, then Doctor Strange is like, well, we'll give her a sling ring and we'll teach her magic. It's like, because she needs that as well, because she's not OP enough as it is. But yeah, this movie is like a massive acid trip. It's more of an acid trip than the previous. There's so many cameos, there's so much going on that it's both crazier than I thought it would be, and it's not as crazy as it really should have been. Because when you think of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, the movie never really explores the madness point of view or the multiverse point of view, because outside of the montage of going through the different multiverses, we have 3 different multiverses, and one of them we stay in for way longer than we should. We have the Incursion multiverse at the end, we have the Illuminati multiverse, and we have the like main MCU 616. But yeah, I liked Doctor Strange through the Multiverse of Madness for what it is. Seeing the characters that show up in the movie, seeing Patrick Stewart as Professor X again, seeing John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, seeing Black Bolt, seeing, you know, Captain Carter, and the other Captain Marvel didn't really... There's no reason for her to show up. It should have been Monica. Seeing Scarlet Witch go full insane, and seeing, like, a proper horror movie from the MCU, that's really cool. And when this movie plays with the horror aspects, when this movie plays with the Doctor Strange of it all, that's when it's at its best. And that is, thankfully, most of the movie. But when it isn't that, it kind of falls flat. And it's Sam Raimi basically being told what to put in. When Sam Raimi does his Sam Raimi-isms, he's great at it. When Sam Raimi's being told what to do, he's not very good at doing that. But anyways, I enjoyed this movie. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Doctor Strange through the Multiverse of Madness, or in the Multiverse of Madness. And let me know what MCU movies you're looking forward to. And do you think that Thor Love and Thunder will have a multiverse connection? Because I have seen theories that there's more than one Thor in that movie, that there's at least four Thors in Thor 4 that comes out on the 4th of, you know. But I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this one, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.